Rainforest Alliance and the Guatemalan National Coffee Association, ANACAFE, launched in June 2009 a pilot project to promote climate-friendly farming through the Ethico Foundation. The project is being developed and tested in 2 regions in Guatemala. Coffee farmers can now reduce and adapt to the effects of climate change by modifying their farming practices and improving their activities. The project aims to develop a robust set of climate criteria that indicate the best climate practices in coffee and processing activities. Implementing these practices will help farmers adapt to the effects of the changing climate, reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, and increase their levels over carbon storage, CO2, in their coffee forest. Key project activities include measuring carbon stored on selected farms, testing best management practices to reduce greenhouse gases emission, and verifying the compliance with these practices through an approved methodology.
We are starting to see problems, especially in the drier areas. The eastern part of the country in Guatemala, where coffee is grown, is also the drier region of the country, and coffee growers in that area are already observing that the climate is getting a little bit too dry for coffee growing. On the other hand, in the western part of the country, we have usually excess of rain in the rainy season, and over there what we've seen is mainly problems with landslides and extreme events like that, which usually affect the commercialization of the product. What we need to do is to estimate how much mass, or biomass we call it, is present at any plantation. So we need to estimate how much mass there is in the shade trees. We also need to estimate how much mass there is in every coffee plant, and we also need to estimate how much carbon is present in the soils. So there are different levels of sampling that we do. For example, we collect samples from the shade trees in the coffee plantations. We put the samples in these ovens to dry them because we are interested in what is called the dry biomass. So we need to remove the water present in the samples. Together with the shade trees, we also collect samples from the coffee plants.
Coffee is a perennial plant that grows naturally under shade trees. Crops cultivated under these conditions are called agroforests. Agroforests are valuable for their potential to store carbon and provide other important eco-services. They maintain, for instance, regional water cycles, keep soils fertile, and provide a home to native flora and fauna. Besides, it is possible to harvest coffee from the same plant for years. All these factors have positive impacts on the environment and help make coffee growing sustainable.
Por ejemplo, en este caso, vemos este nacimiento, este rillito con agua cristalina. Y esto es algo que es invaluable. Yo creo que hoy tener un agua cristalina en el mundo nos alegra a todos.
Rainforest Alliance, as a close partner, works to conserve biodiversity by transforming land use and business practices, and also consumer behavior.
A coffee farmer can help. It can be part of a bigger global solution. Why? Because coffee farmers have their property, they harvest their coffee, but what about all the trees? What's been exciting here in Guatemala is working with Ethico and with ANACAFE, because these 2 institutions, along with the Rainforest Alliance, are working towards studying and understanding, well, what's the value of the trees with which these coffee plants are being grown under? So coffee farmers are actually making a contribution to global climate change and the impact that they can have by being coffee farmers.
The goal of the project is to guide farmers in the adoption of a practice that mitigates climate and help them to adapt to its impact. All the practices are bundled into a climate module. This is a voluntary add-on module to the existing Sustainable Agricultural Network, a leading sustainable certification. Participating farms can be audited according to this module to demonstrate their compliance with the adaptation and mitigation climate criteria.
El cuidado del medio ambiente es un tema básico, es un tema fundamental. Promovemos la fertilización por medio de fertilizantes orgánicos, como es el lombricompost, como es la gallinaza y como es el desecho de hojas que existen en nuestras plantaciones, que los mismos proceden de las hojas secas de los árboles.
Through the project Anacathe, the Rainforest Alliance, Ethico and the Foundation want to raise climate awareness and create added value in the coffee chain. Farmers and auditors in the field can now attend workshops to understand and implement the climate-friendly practices. In doing so, they learn that by reducing the emissions and building carbon on their own farms, they improve their ability to adapt to a changing climate and sustain their own livelihoods.
Our aim is to empower the coffee populations in many parts of the world so they can have access to better opportunities and improved living conditions.